So till now we have done a very long way to solve the questions, but or get the general understanding of what the problem is and how can we solve, what are the concepts related to it. Now we are going to convert everything to matrix form. So earlier we had this matrix which was not so easy to infer because mass, omega, that is our unknown, the amplitude and stiffness all are combined in single equation. Now we are going to split them in different equations. So it's better to understand the given question first and then use the same type of form of matrix to solve and get the eigenvectors and eigenvalues. So the eigenvectors are the normal mode shapes and eigenvalues are same as the squares of the frequency. So now we are going to convert our given question in or equation of motion in Ax is equal to lambda Bx form. And let's take A is equal to the stiffness matrix and B is equal to the mass matrix. Lambda is equal to the eigenvalues or omega square. So this type of form we have achieved after we have substituted the normal mode condition. That was x is equal to x cos omega t plus phi, x1, x2, whatever number of degrees of freedom we have. So once we substitute that condition of x uh, into my equation of motion, I'm going to get this form where I do not have x double dot, that is the velocity and acceleration have been removed, and I don't have this x double dot and x dot. They have been converted from x, like x to x dot. We can differentiate x and x dot to x dot, differentiate x dot to x double dot, substitute that back in equation of motion to get this equation. Now it's very simple for us. These are the same equations which we have achieved earlier, but they are now in matrix form, so they are more clean to see. Now we know that trivial solution will be x is equal to 0, but that will mean x1 and x2 both are 0, so that is useless. So we want a non-trivial solution. So we want the value of R1 and R2, that are the ratios of amplitude in first and second normal mode. So as of now, we are learning 2 degrees of freedom system. Later in the next chapter, we'll look at multi-degree of freedom system. So let's look at this. So we know R1 and R2. We have got the values of R1 and R2 in earlier solution also. The equations are same, everything remains the same, just we have changed the form of looking at it. So we know the value of R1 and R2 now, and you must remember that they are function of system parameters only. uh, how can you see that? Because the k and m are directly the system parameters, and the omega 2, that is the natural frequency. The natural frequency also remains on the system parameters. So I have not explicitly written the values of omega 1 and omega 2 over here, but since omega 1 and omega 2 are going to be the solution of this equation, we know this equation is having all the system parameters, that is mass and the stiffness. There is no amplitude x. So my omega 1 and omega 2 are going to be the function of mass and stiffness, that are the system parameters again. So we know that x1, r1 and r2 are completely dependent on system parameters. So we have got this response completely. Now we can get the free response, free vibration response by linear combination of normal mode responses. And I just splitted or got more details of x and 1 in the new the superscript. Wherever I am writing 1 and 2, they represents the normal mode. So this is the response related to x of the first normal mode. This is the response of x related to x in the second normal mode. I have just expanded those. I have substituted R1 and R2 in term R1 and R2. So the X2 are replaced by this. Now, when I'm going to combine those equations, I'm taking C1 into X2 and C2 into X2 as new constants. So we can decrease the number of constants. So the C1 and C2 are useless right now because already we are taking X1 and X2 or X1 and R1 X1 as our coefficients for cost terms. So it is useless to introduce two more constants, that are C1 and C2. So to get the exact solution or particular solution, we want to find the initial conditions or the constants which are remaining. So the constants are x1 and x2 and phi1 and phi2. This is because the R1, we have seen that R1 depends on system parameters, which is already defined. Omega 1, which I explained earlier, is also dependent on system parameters. So the four unknowns remaining to us are x1, x2, and phi1, phi2. Others are all system parameters. So earlier, so we have assumed a solution of normal mode first, and then we have used the linear combination of these normal mode solutions or response to get the free vibration response. This is a newer approach to us. In earlier, for single degree of freedom system, we used to assume a exponential solution as our trial solution, that is x is equal to c into e raised to st, and then we used to figure out the different values of s, different conditions of underdamped, overdamped, and critically damped, and then we used to write the solution. But this is a new approach, and you must remember the procedure of solution. In the next video, we'll look at the numerical questions, so it's better for you to understand.